I sit here in this cramped, dimly lit apartment in Chicago's Wrigleyville neighborhood, the kind of place where the walls are paper thin and the distant roar of the L train feels like a mocking reminder that life barrels forward, whether you're ready or not. It's January, the wind howling outside like a banshee, rattling the windows and seeping cold into the bones. My name is Nathan Brooks, 35 years old, a guy who grew up in the heartland of Illinois, Peoria to be exact, where days were simple, predictable, and dreams were something you chased in books or on TV. I was the kid who excelled in math, played baseball in high school, and headed to the University of Illinois for a degree in computer science. After graduation, I moved to Chicago for the buzz, the opportunity, landing a job as a project manager at a tech firm in the Loop. Life was building towards something solid. Then came Emily. Emily Carter. That was her maiden name, the one she reclaimed after everything fell apart. We met when I was 26 at a mutual friend's housewarming party in Lincoln Park. It was one of those humid summer evenings where the air sticks to your skin, and everyone is a little tipsy on cheap wine and craft beer. She was standing by the grill, flipping burgers with a confidence that drew me in. Auburn hair tied back, green eyes sparkling under the string lights, and a laugh that cut through the chatter like a knife through butter. "You look like you could use a hand," I said, stepping up, even though I was terrible at grilling. She handed me the tongs with a smirk. "Don't burn them, mystery man." We talked all night about her nursing school stories, my geeky coding projects, how we both loved the Cubs despite their endless losing streaks. By the end of the night, I had her number, and the next day, we were on our first date at a pizza joint in Wrigleyville, sharing deep dish and stories of our childhoods. The relationship moved fast, but it felt right. Within months, we were spending every weekend together, hiking in the Indiana dunes, catching concerts at the Aragon Ballroom, or just lounging in my old Lakeview apartment, watching old movies and dreaming about the future. She was my anchor in the chaos of city life. At 28, we moved into a cozy 2-bedroom in Edgewater, filling it with thrift store finds and memories. I proposed at 30 on a sunset boat tour of Lake Michigan. The city skyline glittered behind us as I got down on one knee. "Emily, you're my everything. Will you marry me?" Tears streamed down her face as she nodded, pulling me into a kiss that tasted like forever. The wedding was small, intimate, a garden ceremony in Grant Park with 50 guests, followed by a reception at a brew pub in Logan Square. Friends toasted us as the perfect couple, the ones who'd make it through anything. Married for 5 years, together for nearly a decade. I believed it. We bought a condo in Wrigleyville and talked about starting a family after I hit 35. My job was steady, and her career as an ER nurse at Northwestern Memorial was demanding but fulfilling. Life was good, or so I thought. But betrayal doesn't announce itself with fanfare. It creeps in, silent and insidious, like fog rolling off the lake. Looking back, there were signs I dismissed as normal. Her shifts running later and later, blamed on understaffing. The way she'd guard her phone, screen down on the table during dinner. Intimacy that felt rote. Her body there, but her mind elsewhere. "I'm just tired, Nathan," she'd say, rolling away in bed. The hospital is killing me. I'd nod, kiss her shoulder, and let it go. Trust was our foundation. Why question it? I'd surprise her with flowers or tickets to a show, and she'd smile, but the spark seemed dimmer. I chalked it up to life, the grind of adulting in a city that never sleeps. The night it all shattered was a Tuesday in October, the kind of ordinary evening that now haunts my every waking moment. I'd had a rough day at work, a client meeting gone south, deadlines piling up like unpaid bills. I came home around 9, rain-soaked from the dash from the L-stop, craving a hot shower and leftover Chinese. Emily was already in bed, the bedroom door cracked, light off. "Migraine," she murmured when I peeked in. "Love you." I whispered it back, changed into sweats, and flopped on the couch with my laptop to catch up on emails. Her phone was on the coffee table, charging. It buzzed once, then again. I glanced over. A notification from Ryan. No last name, just Ryan. The preview. "Last night was incredible. Can't stop thinking about you." Last night? She told me she had a late team meeting at the hospital. My stomach nodded. Who was Ryan? A colleague she'd mentioned casually months ago. Some resident doctor. But this message, it reeked of intimacy. I shouldn't have picked it up. But curiosity is a bitch, and doubt had already taken root. The lock code was 0621, our wedding month and year, a symbol of trust that now felt like a cruel joke. The message thread opened, and my world imploded. Hundreds of texts stretching back 3 years. 3 goddamn years. It started innocent enough. "Great job on that code blue today." Then flirty. "You look cute in scrubs." Escalating to explicit. "Supply closet in 5? Need a break." Photos. Not nude, but close. Her in lingerie I'd gifted her for Valentine's, captioned, "Thinking of you." His replies. "Damn, Emily, you're killing me. When can I see that in person?" Voice notes that made my blood run cold. Her giggling. "Nathan's at work late again. Doors unlocked." His voice, low and arrogant. "You're so much better than him. Passionate, alive. He's just there." The cruelty hit harder than the infidelity. Messages mocking me. Told Nathan I was with the girls. He's such a trusting idiot. Emojis of rolling eyes and laughter. Comparisons that stabbed deep. "You're so adventurous in bed." Nathan's routine, like clockwork. Routine. Is that what our love was to her? A boring habit she endured while seeking thrills? He thinks he's the perfect husband. Flowers, dates. But it's also predictable. Predictable. The word echoed, burning my cheeks with shame. Dates that matched her overtime. Our anniversary weekend when she had to cover a shift. Texts from her to him. "Hotel room is ready. Miss your touch." Our trip to New York 2 years ago. She'd been sending him selfies from Central Park while I was buying us hot dogs. "Wish it was you here, not him." The betrayal wasn't just physical. It was emotional annihilation. a parallel universe where I was the punchline. I scrolled for what felt like eternity, the rain pounding the windows like fists on my chest. My hands trembled, tears blurring the screen, a physical ache spreading from my gut to my heart. How could she? The woman who'd stood at the altar, vowing, in sickness and health, had been carving out my soul for years. The pain was raw, visceral, a wave of nausea that had me rushing to the bathroom, dry heaving over the sink. Every memory tainted now. The way she'd pull away from hugs, blaming fatigue. The distant look in her eyes during dinner conversations. All lies. I felt foolish, small, like a child discovering Santa isn't real, but 1,000 times worse. This was my life, my heart, shredded. Dawn broke, gray light filtering through the blinds. I hadn't slept, just sat there, phone in hand, rereading, torturing myself. Emily emerged from the bedroom, yawning, hair mussed, in her favorite oversized t-shirt, my college tee. Morning, babe. Coffee? She leaned for a kiss. I recoiled, holding up the phone like a weapon. Who's Ryan, Emily? And don't lie, I've seen everything. Her face drained of color, eyes wide with panic. Not remorse, but fear of exposure. Nathan, how could you go through my phone? That's a violation. Violation? Her words ignited me. Violation. You've been fucking another man for 3 years. Mocking me, laughing at me. I yelled, voice cracking, throwing the phone on the couch. She sank into a chair, head in hands. It's not what you think. She confessed in bits, like pulling teeth. Ryan is a doctor at work. It started as flirting during a tough shift. I was stressed. You were always busy with projects. Busy? I'd cut hours to be with her. It became more. But it didn't mean anything emotional at first. At first. The implication hung heavy. 3 years, Emily. Messages where you compare us, say he's better. She winced. We were just venting. It made the affair exciting. Exciting. My humiliation is foreplay. Do you love him? Silence, then a whisper. I don't know. It's complicated. Complicated. That word gutted me more than any text. Not a denial, but a hedge. The fight dragged on, me pacing, shouting about trust shattered, her crying, deflecting blame. You're too safe, Nathan. I needed excitement, passion. Life with you is comfortable, but boring. Boring. The man who'd loved her unconditionally, planned our future, was boring. You made me the villain in your story, I said, voice breaking. All those nights I held you, thinking we were okay. You were thinking of him. She sobbed. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you. But she had, deliberately, every day. She packed a bag that afternoon, heading to her sister's in the suburbs of Schaumburg. I need space to think. Space? She'd had all the space in the world in his bed. The door closed, and the apartment swallowed me in silence. That's when the paranoia set in. A venomous snake coiling around my mind. Who else knew? Our friends, Mike and Sophie, who we'd double dated with for years. Mike worked in healthcare. Had he seen them? I called him that night, voice hoarse from crying. Did you know about Emily and Ryan? Man, I heard rumors at a party, but I didn't want to stir shit. Rumors. So the circle knew, and no one told me. Thanks for nothing, I snapped, hanging up. Blocked. Then Sophie. Nathan, I'm sorry. She swore it was over. Over? It wasn't. Blocked. Family too. My sister in Peoria. I suspected she was distant, but I didn't want to interfere. Interfere? The betrayal cascaded, friendships crumbling like dry leaves. Social media became a battlefield. Every post from her friends felt like coded mockery. I unfollowed, deleted, retreated into isolation. The nights were the worst. A black void where sleep fled and thoughts tormented. I'd lie in our bed, the sheets still carrying her scent, imagining them together. Laughter in his upscale condo in Gold Coast, bodies entwined, while I lay here, a broken shell. Self-loathing bloomed. Why wasn't I enough? Too ordinary? Not handsome? I scrutinized old photos, picking at my flaws. The slight paunch from desk work, the lines around my eyes from stress. He's let himself go, one message had said. I started running obsessively, pounding pavements in the cold, trying to outrun the pain, but it clung like sweat. Food tasted like ash, weight dropped, but the emptiness grew. Work suffered. I snapped at colleagues, missed details in reports. My boss, a no-nonsense woman named Lisa, pulled me aside. Nathan, you're not yourself. Take time off. I did, but time off meant drowning in memories. Therapy began a month later, referred by a coworker. Dr. Singh's office in a high-rise in the Loop, with its neutral tones and box of tissues, became my confessional. This is betrayal trauma, she explained in our first session. It's like PTSD, hypervigilance, intrusive thoughts, eroded self-esteem. I poured it out, the discovery, the fight, the paranoia. I doubt everything now. Every person feels like a potential liar. She nodded. That's common. The brain rewires to protect itself, but it isolates you. Sessions were excruciating, reliving the texts, dissecting my blindness. You trusted because you loved. That's not weakness. It's human. But it felt like weakness. Progress was glacial. Some days I left angrier. The wound reopened. 6 months post-discovery, the divorce was finalized in a sterile courthouse in downtown Chicago. No kids to fight over, just assets divided like spoils of war. She got the condo. I couldn't bear the ghosts there. I moved to this shoebox apartment, bare walls and secondhand furniture. She took Buddy, our golden retriever we'd adopted from a shelter 5 years ago. Handing him over, seeing his tail wag for her one last time, felt like losing a piece of my soul. "Take care of him," I muttered, voice thick. She nodded, eyes averted. Whispers from mutual acquaintances filtered in. "She's living with Ryan now. Happy. Planning a trip to Europe." The cruelty of it. Her moving on while I stagnated. I saw them once. By accident. At a coffee shop in Andersonville. They were at a window table, her hand on his arm, laughing over lattes. She looked radiant, unburdened. He, smug, like he'd won a prize. Our eyes met for a split second. She looked away, but the damage was done. I bolted, heart hammering, bile rising. Outside, I leaned against a wall, gasping, the world spinning. That image replays in dreams, a loop of torment. A year later, I'm a shadow of the man I was. The job is still there, but passion's gone. I go through motions, avoiding team happy hours for fear of pity. Dating? Tried apps, a few awkward dinners. One woman, Megan, seemed nice, but when she checked her phone, paranoia surged. "Who are you texting?" She left confused. I deleted the app. Friends are scarce. The few left tiptoe around me, conversations shallow. Trust is a foreign concept. Love, a dangerous illusion. The pain doesn't fade. It mutates. A constant hum in my chest. A weight that presses down in quiet moments. Emily didn't just cheat. She dismantled me, piece by piece, leaving a hollow man who questions every kindness, every connection. If there's a lesson, it's this. Vulnerability is a risk, and sometimes the cost is your soul. I miss the old Nathan, the optimistic guy who believed in forever. Now I'm just surviving, one day at a time, in a world that feels forever tainted. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, leave a comment, and share it. I'd greatly appreciate it. You've been listening to Lilith Sanctum. Until next time.